Hey friend, we are going to create a task that sends an email a certain amount of time after the customer purchases a certain product. This title is ridiculous, and let's see if we can make it shorter. Send an email after when the customer purchases a certain product. Actually, I'm wondering if we have something like this already that doesn't have a delay. Email customers after purchasing a certain product, email somebody. We do, okay. When a certain product is purchased. Okay, awesome. Okay, cool. This recording just turned into writing a brand new task, from that into modifying this task to include a time delay. So, fantastic. What we're going to do is head back to the home page. Email someone when a certain product is purchased. Awesome. So what we're going to do here is, what we're going to do is modify our subscription right here. We're going to say if options dot number of days to wait before emailing. If that number is not blank, we're going to add it. Let's see. Let's make life a little bit easier for us. Okay. If delay days is not equal blank, then add the number of delay days with the dot days suffix. Okay, cool. So now we see a whole bunch of validation options. We're going to send it here. The subject will be hello, the body will be yo, the reply to address will be blank. Product title will be something like this. And what we're going to see is an email. And if we add a few days, we'll see that we are now waiting 4 days, or 5 days, or 4 days again. Perfect. This might actually be all that we need to do. I think we're going to add one more thing. I would like to not send an email if the order has been canceled. That's a good basic check to put in, and I think that's something that we can do without having to make that a configuration option. So let's do a little bit of work here. So we'll say, unless we're looking at an event preview, we're going to reload the order. Okay. What this does is ensure that we are dealing with really up-to-date information, because if we have a delay in place, the event data that we're still using is still going to be the event data that came in with the initial event. We still are missing an end if. There we go. Let me explain that one more time. Regardless of when the task actually executes, when the code for it runs, the event.data variable, and also the order variable and everything else, will still reflect the data that came in from the event originally, which means that if we want to find out if the order has been canceled in the meantime, we need to reload the order so as to get a copy of the order that's actually up to date. So we'll go down here. Unless we're in preview mode, we'll reload the order, and then we'll do a quick check to see if the order is qualified. We'll say initially, order qualified, false. The order is not qualified. But then we'll say, unless order, actually let's invert that, if order.canceled at is blank, we will call the order qualified. And then let's do a little bit of refactoring here. So right here, we're capturing the email action into a string, and we're only outputting it if we're in preview mode or if there's a matching line item or line item title found. So instead of this, let's put this down at the end, wrap it in if order qualifies, and if, and really what we should do is say for line m, okay, here's where we should say order qualifies is true. if we found a line item title that actually matches. Let's look at the product title instead of the line item title. We've got some tasks in our library as I go through that could be improved as we go. And this is one of these. You'll see also that it has an older incantation for the email action. This can all be shortened to action email. And the rendered result is going to be the same. This action tag, you can think of it as kind of a macro. It just allows us to skip all the boilerplate involved in actually constructing an action JSON object. So anywho, if order qualifies, we dump out the email. So now that we've got this structure in place, what we actually want to do is after qualifying the order, we want to maybe disqualify it if we find out that the order has actually been canceled. So now our very slightly restructured task begins with, unless we're in preview mode, reload the order. Then we decide up front that the order is not qualified. Until we're proving otherwise, until we scan all the line items, look at the product titles, and find one for which the order is actually or find one that actually matches, and then we mark the order as qualified. Unless we change our mind here and we say if the order has been canceled, as in if canceled out is not blank, then the order is not qualified after all. Finally, if the order is qualified, we actually render the email like so. And then what we'll do here is restore some logic that was there already, as in if there is a preview event, we dump out the email. Now normally I warn against this sort of thing for reasons of if this is in place, none of this logic is actually evaluated when it comes time to render this preview over on the right over here. So normally I recommend against doing this. However, this task is so very simple. There's so little going on here that I'm actually okay with this. And for the sake of maintaining that simplicity, because it is already so easy to reason around, I'm going to leave this in place. And I think that's all we need to do. The merchant's request was to be able to send an email to a staffer some number of days after a particular product has been purchased. And we've accomplished that just by modifying something that was already in Mechanics task library, which is awesome. And again, if we zero this out, this will get sent immediately instead of waiting for some number of days. And we're done. Fantastic. Thanks for watching.